Then we have discussed the so what is the last topic which we have seen? What is the last topic which we have seen? So in the previous session, we have seen about the how to calculate the sag and tension in our overhead transmission line. Because sag is going to often plays a vital role in our transmission system. So that's why the sag and tension of our transmission line is going to often plays a vital role. So we have seen about how to calculate the sag and tension in our overhead transmission line. Okay. So in today's session, we will take some of the numerical problems which associate with the performance of our transmission line and the sag calculation and corona. So then we'll wind up with the module 2. Okay. So today we are going to see the first problem. The first problem is going to appear. We have said 3-phase 50 Hz overhead line transmission line 100 km long has the following constant. It means the resistance per kilometer per phase is equal to 0.1 ohm. Inductive reactance per kilometer per phase is equal to 0.2 ohm. Capacitive susceptance per kilometer per phase is equal to 0.04 into 10⁻⁻⁴ Siemens. Okay. Determine sending in current. It means IS. We have to calculate what about your IS, right? Sending in voltage. It means VS we have to calculate. Then sending in power factor. IS we have to calculate, and transmission efficiency. So these 4 parameters we have to determine for the given circuit, right? When it's supplying a balanced load of 10,000 kilowatts at 66 kilovolt at 0.8 power factor lagging. Okay, it means the power delivered by the circuit is going to be often 10,000 kilowatt at voltage of 66 kilovolt at 0.8 power factor lagging. Right. So here, remember, since it's going to be of 100 kilometer length, but we can able to come across with respect of a overhead transmission line is going to appear medium transmission line. Overhead transmission line is going to appear medium transmission line. Right. But in the theoretical session, we have seen nothing but the overhead transmission line performance analysis for medium transmission line we can carry out by 3 methods. Either you can use of an N condenser method or nominal T method and nominal pi method. Okay, we are having a fun. 3 methods are there to analyze your medium transmission line. Nothing but how we are placing the effect of capacitance in your transmission line. Based on that, we can analyze the transmission, medium transmission is often either by using of an N condenser method or nominal T method or nominal pi method. Okay, here they ask to solve by using a pure nominal T method. It means the effect of capacitance is going to be placed at the midpoint of the transmission line. It means the lumped parameter of R and L. It means R and XL will be placed at the one half at before the capacitance, another half at the after the capacitance. It means half of the value is going to be considered with respect of the midpoint. So that is going to appear nominal T method. So for finding out the parameter of IS, VS, PIS and efficiency, first we have to draw the equivalent circuit, then you have to draw your phasor diagram. Okay. So how to draw the phasor diagram we have seen in our theoretical classes. Here I'm going to draw directly only the equivalent circuits. This is R by 2, XL by 2, T, and this is my sending in parameter. This is going to be of my VS, okay, and this is my IS. So when comes at this point, it is going to be often divided. So this current is going to be of my IR current, and this is my load, and this is R by 2, this is XL by 2. Okay, this is going to be of my C, and the C value is going to be of my current flowing here is going to be of my IC. Okay, and this voltage across this one is going to be of my V1, and the voltage across here is going to be of my VR. So this is the equivalent circuit of my medium transmission, which is represented by a nominality method. Because remember, the effects of the resistance, inductance, and capacitance we have to consider for the transmission line. We can't able to neglect because the length is going to be of higher and voltage level is also higher. We cannot able to neglect the effect of capacitance. We have to consider that when you are considering where you are going to lump that element of the capacitance that plays a vital role in your medium transmission line. Okay, so here remember we are placing at the midpoint of the transmission line. So that's why this method is going to call us a nominal T method. Okay, so from this we can draw your vector diagram, and based on that you can able to calculate your what about your current. So for drawing this vector diagram, we are going to take the voltage is going to have the reference. Which voltage means the receiving voltage is going to take as the reference quantity. With this one we can able to draw the vector diagram or phase diagram of the equivalent circuit. Okay. So now we are going to calculate what about the current. So for that limit, I have here limit. If I want to determine what about my sending end voltage and sending end current, means first I have to calculate what about my receiving end current, load current. If I know the load current, then I can able to calculate what about my capacity current. Where the capacity current is going to limit V1 voltage. V1 voltage, how I can able to get the V1 voltage means voltage across this impedance. What are the drop across this impedance plus the receiving end voltage here. So if I want to calculate the Vs means Vs is equal to often drop across this impedance part and plus this V1 is equal to of my Vs. If I want to calculate the Vs means limit, I have to know about my V1. Okay, for finding out the V1 value, I have to calculate the voltage drop across this impedance section. Okay, so if I want to calculate the voltage drop across this impedance section means I have to calculate what about my current. It means the receiving end current. So here they given what about the power and the voltages and power factor. I can able to get my current, right? If I know this current, I can able to calculate the impedance. Then if I know the impedance and the current, I can able to calculate the drop. So this drop plus my receiving voltage is equal to of my V1. Okay, I can able to get my V1. So similarly, if I able to get my IS means the capacitor current plus my receiving end current will be equal to of my IS. So that I can able to determine what about my IS, sending end current. Okay, so here so this I'm erasing up to this one. Okay. So now to solve the problem. So here they given the resistance value, the reactance value and capacitance value only for per kilometer. But our length of the transmission is going to be 100 kilometers. It means R for 100 kilometers. So what about my R value? It means 0.1 into 100, that is equal to often 10 ohm for the entire length of my transmission line. Similarly, reactance XL is equal to often 0.2 into 100, that is equal to of your 20 ohm. Okay, and capacitive susceptance nothing but Y, that is nothing but 0.04 into 10 power minus 4 into 100 kilometer length, that is equal to often 4. Okay, 4 into 10 power minus 4 Siemens. Okay, so I have taken the values for the entire kilometer of the length. Okay, here the VR vector then is VR into 1 plus J0. Okay, so what is the voltage they given? 66 kilovolts. It means that is equal to nothing but 66,000 into 1 plus J0 is equal to my VR vector. That is my VR vector. Now I have to find out my current of IR current. So IR current means what about my IR current? Remember, power will be equal to often P equal to often V into I cos phi. Okay, so but here is the transmission here is going to appear 3-phase power. This is going to appear 3-phase power. So my current, there is nothing but IR will be equal to often P divided by √3 into V into cos phi. That is equal to V into cos phi. So this value is nothing but P is going to be of 10,000 kilowatt. It means 10,000 into 10 power 3 watts divided by root 3, 66,000. It means 66 into 10 power 3 into power factor is going to be of here 0.8. Power factor is equal to of my 0.8. Come on, get me the answer for what about your current? What about the current value? Come on, get me the answer. Silamberson 135. Hey, check the answer. Current won't be of 1 point. Someone has posted us of 0.109. How? The load itself is 10,000 kilowatt. How about your current? Load current will not be in terms of 1 ampere, 2 ampere. I think I don't know who has posted the answer. Abhirami, check your answer. Huh? 109. 109.3 ampere. So this is your current. That is going to be of your current. Okay. That is going to be of your current. Okay. So now we got the current, but this current is going to be of your IR current, but we need of an IR vector. IR vector is nothing but IR into cos phi r minus J of sin phi r. Okay, but with a given number, the cos phi, here number the given cos phi. So it means number my cos phi value is going to be of my cos phi value is equal to 0.8. So cos phi is equal to 0.8. It means IR is equal to 109.8 minus J of 0.6. And because remember you can get the phi value. Phi value is equal to cos inverse of 0.8. Cos inverse of 0.8 is equal to 36.4. 36 degree 4 minutes. So that is going to be the angle. So then we can able to get what about your sin phi r. You will get up to 0.6. So this is going to be of your current. This is going to be of your current. Okay. So now for determining the Vs, right? I need of a V1 value. Because if I know the V1 value, then only I can able to add with respect to this impedance. Okay. So what about my V1? What about my V1? So V1 is going to happen. Since I know the current value, so this drop across this section of the impedance plus my receiving end voltage, that is equal to of my V1. So it is my number voltage across the capacitor. Voltage across the capacitor. It means the V1 voltage. It is the V1 voltage. So V1 voltage vector will be equal to often VR vector plus IR vector into Z by 2. Half impedance. That is going to be a Z by 2. Okay. It means VR vector, what is the value of VR vector? So VR vector is equal to often 66,000. Right? Plus IR vector is going to often 109 into 0.8 minus J of 0.6. Z value is going to often number. I can write it this number. Z is equal to often R plus JXL. So R is going to be often 10, J of 20. So this value should be divided by 2. That is going to be often Z by 2. So it means nothing but when I am dividing by 2 means nothing but what will happen? 5 plus j of 20. Sorry, 10. So it means this value here is going to have the inverse 5 plus j of 10. So this is my V1 vector. Come on, calculate what is the V1 vector. All right. Students, listen here. I told you what is the type of equivalent circuit. What is the type of equivalent circuit? I think here I have used one word. Balanced load of 10,000 kilowatts. So here in your per phase analysis, when it comes with respect of per phase analysis, your voltage should be upon per phase. So voltage VR should be of your per phase. So per phase voltage VR, so per phase voltage will be another 66,000 divided by root 3. So how much you are getting? 66,000 divided by root 3. Someone answer me. Unmute and get me the answer for 66,000 divided by root 3.
$38,105, sir.
Yeah, I think 38,105. So that value you have to substitute here. That is your VR vector. Okay, that is your VR vector. Why? Because we are doing this.
Sir?
We drawn the equivalent circuit perfect. Yeah?
Sir, minus 0.6 அப்புறம் போர்டே தெரியல சார்.
ஓ இதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த வோல்டேஜ் தெரியலையா?
எஸ் சார், தெரியல சார்.
ஓகே. Sure. I think you have copied the problem, no? Just I will keep this equivalent circuits because with that only you know how to write the equation directly. No need to mug up any equations here. If you know how to draw the equivalent circuits, then you can able to write the equation. Okay. So here I have for calculating the sending end voltage, I know VR value. If I know V1, then with this number I can able to calculate what is the sending in current. Then I can able to calculate what about my VS voltage. Okay. So for that V1 voltage, capacitor voltage. Capacitor voltage. It means voltage across the capacitor. Capacitor voltage number you can call it as capacitor voltage or voltage across the capacitor. That is going to call it as here V1. So if I need upon V1 vector, V1 vector is nothing but VR vector plus the drop across this section of impedance. It means VR vector plus drop across this impedance is but IR vector. It means that is equal to an IR vector into Z by 2. Into Z by 2. So impedance here nothing but we know 10 plus J20. Half impedance is going to be 5 plus J10. So that's why I have wrote it there. So here we are doing the per phase analysis. Okay. But the voltage they are given is going to be upon line to line voltage. Voltage they are given is going to be line to line voltage. So that's why I am converting the line voltage to often phase voltage. You are getting upon 38,000. Someone has told 38,105. Yeah. 38,105 is your VR value. Because VR into 1 plus J0, imaginary part is equal to 0. That's why I'm writing only the real part here. Okay. Plus IR vector is going to be of nothing but IR vector is going to be 109 into 0.8 minus J of 0.6 into Z by 2. Z by 2 is going to be of nothing but 5 plus J10. So that is going to be of here 5 plus J10. If you put it in your complex mode, you will get what is your V1 vector. You will get what about your V1 vector. I think you are getting upon 39,195 plus J of 545 volt. So this is my V1 vector. If you take the magnitude alone, you will get what about your V1 value? You will get value, what about your V1 value alone? Okay. Here, if I want to calculate the Vs, means I have to know about my Is current. But if I want to find out the Is current, means I have to know about my IC. And about IC plus IR is equal to upon Is current. Because the current entry here, it is dividing into upon two of one is going to be of an IC current, one is going to be of an IR current. The current entry here is going to be of my IS current, IS vector. Okay. So if I want to find out IS means I have to know about my IC. It means the current flowing through the capacitance. Current flowing through the capacitance, I have to know what about the voltage. I know what is admittance. If I know admittance and voltage, I can able to calculate my current. Okay. So that only I am going to do it on. I am going to calculate what. So here anyway, 4 into 10 power minus 4 is the admittance of the susceptance, capacitive susceptance value. So using that, I am going to calculate what about the current across the current flowing through the capacitor. Current flowing through the capacitor. Okay. So capacitor current to the capacitor is equal to of nothing but IC vector will be equal to upon Y into V1 vector. Y into V1 vector. So what is your Y value? Y value is going to be of nothing but 4 into 10 power minus 4 Siemens into V vector is going to be of nothing but 39,195 plus J of 545. Okay. So if you multiply, you will get the value is going to be of nothing but minus 0.218 plus J of 15.6. Why? Because it is a J vector. So that's why here you will get up in J vector. The capacitive susceptance. Susceptance is going to be of nothing but conductance plus susceptance, you will get up an admittance. Admittance is nothing but conductance plus susceptance. So that's why susceptance is going to have the imaginary value. So that's why here is about J. Okay. So if you multiply, you will get up on minus 0.218 plus J of 15.6. This is going to have your capacitor current. Okay. If you add the IS current, IS vector will be equal to often IC vector plus IR vector. IC vector plus IR vector. So IC vector here is nothing but minus 0.218 plus J of 15.6. So this is my IC vector plus IR vector value is going to be nothing but 109 in plus 109 into 0.8 minus J of 0.6. If you simplify, you will get up here current. Source current, it means sending in current. So that value you are getting of nothing but if you simplify, you will get 87.0 minus J of 49.8. So if you convert your rectangular form to polar form, you will get the magnitude of your current. So magnitude of current is going to be of nothing but 100 angle of minus 29.47 amps. Okay, it means your sending in current is going to be of your 100. Any doubt? Here, with the help of this equivalent circuit only, I am writing the expression and finding out this. But if you know the vector diagram, also you can able to draw the vector diagram and you can able to calculate. Okay, for drawing the vector diagram, you have to know about the equivalent circuit. If you know the equivalent circuit, then only you can able to draw your vector diagram or phasor diagram. Okay. So now I have to calculate the Vs. What is my Vs? The drop across this impedance section plus V1. V1 I have calculated here. So drop across this section means the current into this impedance. So it means that is going to be of your. So here. calculate Vs vector. Vs vector is nothing but V1 vector, V voltage across this capacitor plus the drop across this impedance section. It means Is vector into Z by 2. Okay. So V1 value they given nothing but V1 is value is given nothing but 39,195 plus J of 545. So this is my V1 value. Okay. Plus current. See here. Current Is current is nothing but 87.0 minus J of 49.8 and half impedance value is going to be 5 plus J of 10. So here if you simplify, if you convert number multiply with the complex mode in your calculator, you will get the answer Is Vs vector. It means the sending in voltage. You will get 40,128 plus J of 1170. It means the magnitude alone, Vs voltage alone, 4145 angle of 1 degree 40 minutes. That is the voltage. You will get this answer. Okay, but this voltage is going to appear phase voltage. So this voltage is the phase voltage. But when I want to compare with that means I have to convert into a line voltage. The sending in voltage. Sending in voltage. Nothing but that is equal to number 40145 into root 3. If you multiply, you will get up an answer. How much you are getting? How much you are getting? All about it. At least a simple value, use the calculator and get the answer. 40,145 into root 3. Because we are converting into a phase voltage to often line voltage. Venkatesan, Sumant Reddy, Abhirami, Sedu. Please, you people respond. Ashwin.
Varum sir.
Meenakshi Sundaram. Yeah, I think Venkatesan has posted 69,533.17. Okay. Sumant Reddy, check your answer. Typing mistake might be. Okay. 69,533. You are getting up for nothing but 69,533 point something. You are getting up in terms of voltage. So I can write it nothing but 69.53 kilovolt. So this is the sending in voltage value. Only the magnitude. I have taken only the magnitude. Okay. Only I have taken the magnitude. So first nothing but they asked to calculate what is the sending in current. We have calculated what is the sending in current. Next we have calculated what is the sending in voltage. We have calculated. Third they have asked to calculate. What about your sending in power factor? What about your sending in power factor? So sending in power factor we can able. I will tell you clearly here nothing but. So if why I am using the vector form? If I use the vector form, So I can able to calculate this. But if if you see your phasor diagram, the phasor diagram, so you will have the angle between your voltage and current. So if you add this angle, means minus 29.47 and as well as of 29.47 angle and as 1.40, you will get what about your 5s. So 5s nothing but this angle plus that angle corresponding between the voltage and current. So that will give what about your sending end power factor. Okay, the sending end third one is going to be of nothing but sending end power factor. So here nothing but the angle of the voltage is going to be of nothing but 1 degree 40 minutes. So theta 1 is equal to 1 degree 40 minutes and theta 2 is going to appear 29.47. It means 29 degree 47 minutes. Okay, 29 degree 47 minutes. So my 5 years will be equal to 1 degree 40 minutes plus 29 degree 47 minutes. If you add, so that is going to be of my 5 years. You will get 31 degree 27 minutes. You will get. Okay, so that your power factor, sending in power factor, cos 5s. So it means cos of 5s you will get. So that is equal to nothing but cos of 31 degree 27 minutes. You will get how much you are getting? You will get 0.853 lakh. You will get 0.853 lakh. அதனால காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் மோல் வெக்டார் ஃபார்ம் வச்சு கடைசியாக வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா convert the rectangular form to polar form, you will get the magnitude and angle. So here also you can convert it from the rectangular form to polar form, you will get magnitude and angle. So if you know that angle, you can able to calculate your power factor cos phi very easily. Okay. So this is the third one. So fourth one, they ask to calculate what about your transmission efficiency. So transmission efficiency means anybody you have to calculate what about your loss. Okay, but loss here nothing but inductive circuits. Okay, you can calculate using that one, or you can use the limit. Since we know about the voltage and current and power factor, we can able to calculate directly what about your sending end power. You can calculate what about your sending end power. So nothing but the sending end power I can calculate to calculate my efficiency. Because the fourth one is nothing but I have to calculate the transmission efficiency. So transmission efficiency is nothing but power delivered by power sent. Okay, power delivered means V, but power delivered is going to be they given already. Power delivered by the load is 10,000, they given already. But power sent, so it means 10,000 they have given already. 10,000 kilowatt they given already. What is the power delivered? Power sent means since it's going to be often three-phase circuit, 3 into Vs into Is into cos phi s. This is going to be of the power sent. Okay, so it means my value is going to be of but 10,000 divided by 3 into what is your Vs value? Vs value is going to be of nothing but 69 point. You will get of nothing but per phase value is going to be of nothing but 40. Okay, so 40,145 into Is is equal, Is value is nothing but how much you are getting your Is value 100. So 100 into 0.853. So you will get what about your efficiency? If you multiply by 100, you will get of the percentage of efficiency. How much you are getting? Ah, 97.34 Abhirami. Bangladesh. Yeah. Yeah, you will get up 97.33%. It is your efficiency. Or you can calculate our delivered plus loss, that is, you can able to calculate of BS and IS exactly, you can able to calculate what about your power descent. So that's why I have used directly. Okay, you can in the other way also you can calculate. You can calculate what is your line losses. You calculate your line losses. The line losses also you can able to calculate what about your power descent. Then you can calculate what is your efficiency. You can use any of these things. So similarly, if they ask for a nominal pi method, you have to draw the equivalence circuits. For nominal pi method, you have to draw the equivalence circuits. For nominal pi method, you have to draw the equivalence circuits. Okay, so it means nominal pi method means instead of splitting the series impedance, right, we are splitting the capacity reactance, susceptance. It means one half at the starting point, another half at the ending point. Then you can able to draw, if you draw the equivalence circuits, then you can able to calculate the performance of your transmission. Either maybe the sending in voltage, sending in current, or transmission efficiency, or voltage regulation. The method is going to be often same. Okay. So now we move on to the problem on how to convert for this sag and tension. Okay. We'll take one problem on sag and tension. Any doubt in this problem? Listen carefully. For the performance analysis of your transmission line, either by short, medium, or long transmission line, if you know how to draw the equivalent circuit, then you can able to solve the problem from your equivalent circuit itself. Nothing but you have to know about the fundamentals of your KCL and KVL. Fundamentals about your KCL and KCL and KVL. Then you can write the vector quantities. Then you can able to solve the problem very easily. In your calculator, for solving this type of problem, use the complex mode. Use your complex mode, right? There is a vector. Okay. Use the complex mode. Then you can able to solve it easily. But when you are using the complex mode, use parentheses correctly so that you will get the exact answer. If you miss the parentheses, you will get the wrong answer. Okay. And after getting of the in the vector form, to convert it into a polar form, convert the rectangular form to a polar form, use the rectangular conversion to polar conversion. Then you can able to get the answers. Okay. So next problem, in the topic of calculation of sag and tension. So second problem in this today's session is going to be on the calculation of sag and tension. Yeah, 132 kilovolt transmission line has the following data. Has the following data. Okay. Weight of the conductor. Weight of the conductor. 680 kg per kilometer. Okay. Length of the span. Length of span 260 meters. Ultimate strength. Ultimate strength. 3100 kg. Safety factor. Two. Calculate the height above ground at which the conductor should be supported. Ground clearance required is 10 meters. 10 meters. A 132 kilovolt transmission line has the following data. Weight of the conductor is equal to often 680 kg per kilometer, right? Length of the span, it means between the supports. The length of the span is nothing but between the support. That length is going to be often 260 meters. The ultimate strength is equal to often 3100 kg. Safety factor is equal to often 2. Calculate the height above ground at which the conductor should be supported. The ground clearance required is 10 meters. The ground clearance required is 10 meters. Okay. I think in the previous theoretical session, we have seen about how to calculate the sag and tension of our overhead transmission line. So, remember, we have seen with respect of two things. One is remember, when the supports are at equal level. When supports are at equal level. Second thing is but when supports are at unequal levels. Unequal levels. Right? So this comes but since they are not mentioned about where the poles are fixed. So this you can take it under the when the supports are at equal levels. When the supports are at equal levels. So but we have to find out what is the height above the ground at which the conductor should be supported. It means but they given the ground clearance. What is the ground clearance is but this is going but I can draw this diagram. Right? This is support 1 A and this is going to be of my support B. Okay. This is a ground. This is my ground. Okay. Support A. And this is going to be of my support B. Between that, the conductor is not going to be often stretched fully. There will be often dip. So there will be often dip will be there. Okay. So there will be often dip will be there. That dip only is going to call the surface sag. Okay, that is going to call the surface sag. So what is the sag height? So okay. So this height is going to call the surface sag. This is going to appear sag. So they asked to calculate the height above which the ground at which the conductor should be supported. So they asked to calculate what is the sag. But here they given the clearance of the conductor. So from the lowest point of the conductor, that this height they given. So this height they given is going to be of nothing but the ground clearance is going to be often 10 meters. That is going to be given as often 10 meters. Right? So here remember calculate the height above the ground at which the conductor should be supported. They are asking this total height. They are asking to calculate what is the height of the support. What is the height of the support? So if you want to calculate what is the height of the support, means first you have to know about the so they given the ground clearance. Above the ground, the lowest point should be up to 10 meters. Lowest point should be up to 10 meters. But there is a sag. So if you add the 10 meter plus the sag, that is going to be the height of your support. That is calculated the height at which the conductor should be supported. So it is, but this is the height at which your conductors will be supported. It means that tower height they are asking us to calculate. They are asking us to calculate your tower height. If you want to calculate this tower height means you have to calculate this sag. If you know your sag plus your ground clearance, then you can able to get what about your height of your tower. Okay, so this is going to happen. Supports are at equal level. So for supports at equal level, the sag, nothing but the sag value, nothing but S, nothing but sag, nothing but S is equal to upon W. What is the expression we have wrote? We have reduced it. What is the expression we have reduced? W n square by 8t. That is going to have your expression for your sag, where T is going to have the tension, right? W is the weight of the conductor. L is going to have the length of the span. L is going to have your length of the span. The length of the span, this length. So this length is going to be upon 260 meters. So this is going to appear 260 meters. This is going to appear 260 meters. One pole to other pole, the distance is going to appear, that is going to call us a span length. That is going to happen 260 meters they given. Okay, that is going to happen 260. Weight of the conductor they given, but the tension is not given. But instead of that, they given what is the ultimate strength and safety factor. So it means you can able to calculate what is the working tension. What is the working tension? So nothing but there is nothing but T is going to be a tension of the conductor, nothing but there is going to call us a working tension. In your specific your study, high school physics, you study about what is the working tension. Working tension is nothing but is going to happen the ultimate strength divided by the safety factor, that is going to call us a working tension. Okay, it means my working tension nothing but T. T is nothing but T is equal to upon ultimate. T is going to be upon ultimate strength divided by safety factor. Divided by safety factor. Come on, calculate what is the tension, what is the working tension. Once if you know about your working tension, you can calculate what is your sag. Come on, get me the answer. So working tension is about 1550. Yeah, that's correct. So it means 3100 divided by 2, that is nothing but 1550 kg. Write the unit. That is very, very important. Okay. So my sag, nothing but S, nothing but that is equal to upon W into L square by 8T. What about your weight? The weight of the conductor they given nothing but 80 kg per meter. But here anybody see here nothing but everything nothing but meter and kg. So it means I have to calculate what is the weight. So my weight nothing but, so here the weight is going to be of nothing but 680 divided by kilometer, per kilometer it is 100. So I can get what is a meter, 1000. I will get what is the weight per meter. So weight per meter, this number W will be equal to 680 by 1000 means the number I will get 0.6. So this way I will get 0.6. So I can substitute here, but sag will be equal to 0.6 into span length. Span length is going to happen 260 meters. So into 260 whole square divided by 8 into 1550. So you will get what is your sag height in terms of meter. See here, I am making the unit as uniform. What is your sag height?
$3.27, sir.
Hey, correct pa solunga ba? 3 point. Sorry, நாங்க 0.68 வந்து 0.68 தான் போட்டுருக்கேன். டெசிமல் மெயின்டைன் பண்ணுங்க. 680 means 0.680. அப்ப மாறும் டெசிமல் வேல்யூ எடுத்து எழுதுற When you're taking it and writing that value, just be careful. People are remain silent. Rupan, Venkatesan, Meenakshi Sundaram, Abhirami, Jeevita, Megha, not getting any answers. Dinesh,
Sir, 3.7, sir.
yeah, you will get 3.7 meters. You will get 3.7 meters. But here, this is a sag height. Okay, but here in the question, they asked to calculate what the conductor should be supported. It means, right, my height of the conductor support is nothing but height of the conductor supported, nothing but that is equal to often sag height plus ground clearance. Sag plus ground clearance. So sag is going to be often 3.7, ground clearance is going to be often 10. This height is going to be often 13.7 meters. This height is going to be of my 13.7 because this is going to be often 3.7 meters and this is 10 meters. So the height at which the conductor should be supported is going to be of 13.7. That it should be often 13.7. That is the answer for this question. Any doubt? Able to
Sir,
understand?
Anna, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, weight நம்ம calculate பண்ணும்போது 680 divided by 100 வந்து
I'm not
6
able to get
point
your voice. I don't know who
6
is
point
unmuted. I don't know. யாருமா சொல்லுங்கம்மா கொஞ்சம் கிளியரா சொல்லுங்கம்மா.
சார் வெயிட் வந்து 6.8 வராதா சார்?
வெயிட்டாமா டிவைட் பை 1000 தானம்மா?
ஓ 1000 சார். ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
கிலோமீட்டர் தானே? கிலோமீட்டர்னா 1 மீட்டர் எவ்வளவு? 1000 கிலோமீட்டர் லிமிட் 1000 மீட்டர் இஸ் 1 கிலோமீட்டர்னா 1000 மீட்டர் 1 கிலோமீட்டர். ஏன்னா இங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹைட் எல்லாமே வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா மீட்டர்ல தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ அதனாலதான் நான் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா வெயிட் வந்து பர் மீட்டருக்கு எவ்வளவுன்னு சொல்லி பாக்குறேன். ஸோ அதனால டிவைட் பை 1000 போட்டிருக்கேன். அதான் டிவைட் பை 1000. Okay, so then only you will get in meters. இல்ல in terms of kilometer வந்து அப்ப again மாத்தணும். So அதுக்காக limit unit is limit check at each and every stage, check your units. Okay. Now you got it. Any doubt? Students, still some of you not submitting the quiz and assignments. Quiz assignments and the first assignment. You have not submitted. So I am repeatedly telling you, but you have to submit. Because but in the online, if you are not submitting, it is visible to each and everyone who are not submitted. We cannot able to award the marks. Okay. So whatever the pendings are there, try to complete it. Within this week, try to complete it. Those who are not submitted the assignment, post your assignment in the assignment tab. Upload your assignment in the assignment submission box. And complete whatever is in the but you have not submitted, complete it before this week. So let's take the next problem. The third problem of this session. The towers of height 30 meter and 90 meter respectively. Support a transmission line conductor at water crossing. They support a transmission line conductor at water crossing. The horizontal distance between the towers is 500 meters. If the tension in the conductor is 16,000 kg. Find the minimum clearance of the conductor and water. And clearance midway between the supports. Weight of conductor is 1.5 kg per meter. Base of the tower can be considered as to be at water level. The towers of height 30 meter and 90 meter respectively. The towers of height 30 meter and 90 meter respectively. They support their transmission line conductor at water crossing. The horizontal distance between towers is 500 meter. If the tension in the conductor is 16,000 kg, 1,600 kg, find the minimum clearance of the conductor. Find the minimum clearance of the conductor and water. Minimum clearance of the conductor and water, and clearance midway between the supports. The weight of the conductor is 1.5 kg per meter. The base of the tower can be considered to be at water level. Okay. They ask to calculate the clearance from the lowest point O from your water level. What is the clearance from your water level? What is the ground clearance? Okay. So now we have to calculate what is the clearance from your water level. So for this we have to draw the diagram. Then only can it be easy to solve this problem. So assume this is going to be of nothing but we are having of the water. So this is nothing but this is a water crossing. So this is going to be of the water crossing. Water is flowing, and there is a tower is there between the water, right? Okay. So between the water, so supports become of your support will become of your uneven. Supports become of an uneven. So when the support, the water between the water level, but we are having of nothing but the water level, the height the supports will be different. So height and supports is going to be of a different. Okay. So where nothing but the conductor is going to be of nothing but placed like this. Okay. And this is the lowest point, and this is your lowest point. And this is your lowest point. Okay. This is the lowest point. Okay. This height is going to have a S2, and this is your S1. Okay. A difference in the height. So this is going to have the difference in the height that is going to have a H. So this is going to have a H. Okay. They asked to calculate from the ground what is the clearance. Okay. From the ground what is the clearance. So for this thing, but you have to consider this lowest point. This is going to be of nothing but it's a distance of x1, and this is a distance of x2. Okay. So that is your complete length of your span length. So if you take this one, find any point here is going to have this is going to have thickness of any point. So this is a midway. So this is your midway. So you have to draw your unsupported diagram, and you have to mention it. Then you can able to write it out. So the given, so the tower height, this height is going to be after this height tower height. This height tower height they given 30 meter. Okay, 30 meter, and the other height is going to be 90 meter. This height they given 90 meter. Okay, so what are the values they given? If you see here, nothing but the height they given. What is the height of the towers? So when height of the towers they given is nothing but you can able to get what about your h? What about your h? It means h is equal to often 90 minus 30, because remember this total height is going to be 90 meter. This total height is going to be 90 meter, and this height of this tower is going to be 30 meter. This is comes across this point. So that is going to be a height h. It means my h is going to be 90 minus 30. That is going to be 60 meter. So that is my h value. That is my h value. And they given, right, the horizontal distance between the conductor tower is this is going to be nothing but, so this tower horizontal distance is going to be nothing but it's going to be x1 plus x2 they given is going to be x1 plus x2 is equal to 500 meter. That is the length of span length. Okay. Tension they given 1600 kg, right? 1600 kg, and the weight is going to be 1.5 kg per meter they given. Okay, so we know that what but S1. S1 is nothing but plant height. Nothing but S1 is nothing but W into X1 by 2T. It will be X1 by 2T. Similarly, S2 is nothing but W into X2 by 2T. That is going to be X2 by 2T. So we know that H is nothing but S1 minus S2. S1 minus S2. It means W by 2T into X1 minus X2. So that is going to be of my H. That is going to be of my H. So we know what is the value of your H. H is equal to often 60, W equal to often 1.5, T is going to be often 1600, and X1 minus X2, we don't know what is the X1 minus X2. So keep it as it is. So you are getting a value from the, but find out what is the value here. So if you substitute this one, right, H is equal to often 60, W is going to have the weight is going to be of my 1.5, 2 into 1600 into X1 minus X2. Get me what is the value of X1 minus X2 is equal to how much you're getting. So if you simplify, what value you are getting? Whether this is correct? Actually, I made it wrong. What is your sag? What is your sag? W into L square by 8. Means we written for Y. Okay, we have written for Y in our derivation. Y is equal to W into X square by 2T we have wrote. Right? The square term, you have to get off a square term. So it means nothing but H will be equal to S1 minus S2. So S1 is nothing but W into X1 square by 2T minus W into X2 square by 2T. If you simplify, you will get H will be equal to W by 2T, right? X1 square minus X2 square. I'm taking the common value here. So they can write it, H will be equal to W by 2T, X1 plus X2 into X1 minus X2, I can write it out. Okay. So it means this X1 plus X2, nothing but that is going to have the total span, nothing but length, that is not L. So it means height, I know this is going to be often 60. 60 is equal to often, this I can write it as often L, nothing but length, span length, that is going to be 500. So W weight is going to be of my 1.5 into L value is going to be of 500 divided by 2 into tension is going to be of 1600 into X1 minus X2 into X1 minus X2. So if you simplify, so I am writing here. So H will be equal to often W by 2T, right? X1 square minus X2 square. Why? Because we know that sag formula Y will be equal to often W into X square by 2T. Then we are writing all those things. Okay. So the based on that only I am writing here, but this I can expand W by 2T, W into 2T, W by 2T will be equal to often X1 plus X2 into X1 minus X2. So this is nothing but X1 plus X2 is nothing but length of this span, nothing but that is going to be of my L. So it means we know the weight. Weight how much? 1.5 divided by 2 into tension 1600 into 500. So H 30 minus 90 minus 30 is going to be here 60 into X1 minus x2. So this I can get it if I simplify this one. So this I can do it of nothing but x1 minus x2 is equal to often I can bring this term 60 into 2 into 1600 divided by 1.5 into 500. How much you are getting? It means that is equal to often 60 into 2. This I can get 60 into 2 into 1600 divided by 1.5 into 500. So how much you are getting? How much? How much?
256, sir.
256 meters. Okay. So I can get x1 minus x2 is equal to often 256 meters. This is equation 1. Okay. And from here, total span length, it means x1 plus x2 is equal to often 500. These are 2. Solve this equation 1 and 2. Find out what is the value of x1 and x2. Find out the value of x1 and x2. Solve this equation 1 and 2. Find out the value of x1 and x2. Put the max in the inverse. We can solve what is find the value of x1 minus x1 and x2. So this will be get cancelled. 2x1 is equal to 766. It means x1 is equal to 766 by 2. How much? Simultaneous equation. How much time it will take? So this will get cancelled. So 2x1 is equal to 756. So it means x1 will be equal to 756 divided by 2. How much? 123. Yeah. Exact 123 756 है ना divisible number है ना 500 plus 256. This value how much you are getting? 756 upon 123. It means your x1 is equal to upon 123 meters, right? Upon x1 there is you can calculate your x2. You can able to calculate x2. $273, yeah. 270, 287 or something. Sir, 378. Okay. But in the question, they asked to calculate what is the clearance from the ground. Clearance from the ground with the water level, from the water level. So it means if I have to calculate what is the sag. So it means I know that sag S1 is nothing but I know that S1 is nothing but W into X1 square divided by 2T. So weight I know that 1.5. Weight I know that 1.5 into X1 123 whole square divided by 2 into 1600. So I will get what is my S1. Come on. How much time? 1.5 into 123 square divided by 2 into 1600. How much time it will take to calculate the value? 1.5 into 123 square divided by 2 into 1600. How much you are getting for S1? So you will get 7 meter. Your sag with respect to support A, you will get up on 7 meter. It means at a distance, what is this is a distance? At a distance of 123 meter, right? From here at 123, the lowest point here is going to be at a height of 7 meter. This is 7 meter. It means S1 is going to be 7 meter. Okay, but with respect to this one, you can able to calculate what is this one, what is the sag. So if you substitute, but here what they are asking, but this lowest point, what is the clearance from here? So the height, total height of the tower is going to be the clearance from the ground level, water level. The clearance will be equal to with the point of O. It's going to be O point. Okay, with the O clearance with the O point. Okay, so your O point, right? It means that is equal to the ground clearance from the water level here in the 30 minus 7 meter. 30 meter minus 7 meter. That is nothing but 23 meter. So it means this clearance from this point, this clearance is going to appear 23 meters. It is from the water level, the lowest point have the clearance of 23 meters. So this is the answer. Okay, any doubts? Where doubt is above? .97, that is nothing but it's going to be 7. Meenakshi, correct. Okay. Abhirami, when you are calculating, check which is x1 and x2. If you change your value of x1 and x2, your sag height will be get changes. Because you have, when you type, I think I don't know how you have this, you have made a mistake. X1 is you will get up here 122, 123, something. Okay, x2 will be heading up your answer. So check it out when you are solving it out. Okay, we have x1 plus x2, right? I think I have interchange. நானே interchange பண்ணி எழுதியிருக்கிறேன். Where I made a mistake is something, but when I'm writing this height என்னது? Height is going to be but 90 minus 30. अपना 90 minus 30 ने என்னது? It means here nothing but I have to write. As per this formula, Abhiram is correct, giving correct answer. Whatever I have wrote, anybody is giving correct answer. S2 minus S1. This number height is nothing but is going to be often. S2 minus S1 is going to be height. So automatically the interchange x2 minus x1. It will be of x2 minus your x1. x2 minus x1 x2 minus x1. You will get often. This is your length. So automatically in the இடத்துல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா you will get a pair x2 x1. Then you will get this answer. Otherwise, it will be interchange. Okay. So see that where we made the mistakes. Okay. I think Abhiram, I have written the question for that your answer is correct. But we made the mistake. We have planned height estimate f2 minus x1. So this where we made the mistake. So then we will be getting interchange. Since it's simple equations, but answer is we are getting more or less same, but x1, x2 parameter is good there. But if we get the different values for x and x2, then so you will get a wrong answer. Okay. So we'll solve one more problem, right? Suppose if we have the ice coating different wind pressure, means how to calculate your sag. The sag is going to call us up your vertical sag. That is going to appear vertical sag. Just I will brief it what we have seen till now in module 2. Till now in module 2, what we have seen, just I will describe it. In module 2, exclusively with respect to of your transmission line, overhead transmission line. First half, we seen the parameter of our transmission line. We have seen the parameters of transmission line, right? So when it comes to the parameter of transmission lines, the transmission line is going to have the best example for your distributed element. In a circuit, you have studied about your lumped element and distributed element. So one of the example for your distributed element is going to have your transmission line. So it means the phenomena of your inductance, right, and capacitance will be present throughout your circuit, which you cannot remove it from the circuit physically. Okay, that is the limit is going to call us up here distributed parameter, right? So the parameters of transmission line is going to be R, L, C, and G is going to appear transmission line parameter. So how to calculate the parameters of the transmission line? We have seen in the first half of your module. But the resistance, what is the resistance, and how it's going to have dependent limit resistance in your transmission line. Then how to calculate the inductance of our overhead transmission line. How to calculate the capacitance of your transmission line, capacitance of your overhead transmission line for different circuits. Either it's a single circuit or double circuit. How to calculate your limit R, L, and C. Because G is going to have the reciprocal of your resistance. So nothing but that we are not going to give of much importance in your calculation. So second thing is nothing but the second topic what we have seen here is going to be the performance of your transmission line. Performance of your transmission line. So for design and the design and your maintenance of your transmission line, the main thing is going to have the performance evaluation of your transmission. So performance evaluation, we are going to calculate in terms of efficiency and voltage regulation. Efficiency and your voltage regulation. It means we have to determine what is the efficiency of your transmission line, regulation of your transmission line, and your line loss of your transmission line. Okay, so that we can have the better performance of your transmission line. So here the second part is going to be the performance of your transmission line. For performance of your transmission line, we have categorized the transmission lines of your short, medium, and long transmission line. So how to analyze the transmission line based on short, medium, and long, we have seen with the help of your equivalent circuit and phasor diagram. Okay, so to calculate the performance of your transmission line is often efficiency, voltage regulation, and line losses. Okay, along with this, we have seen how what are the various effects like skin effect, proximity effect, parentic effect, corona effect. So this we have seen. Okay, so only the left out topic here in the but what is the different type of towers we are using in our transmission line. So that we have to see. So that we'll see in the next session, and we'll solve some of the problems. One problem, but one on your long transmission line, another one with respect of your corona. So with that, we'll wind up with the module 2. Okay. So any doubt or any topic you want to discuss once again, students? So one more thing you can solve in this problem itself, but at the midpoint of the wave. So it means but I have denoted a P, right? It means that P point you have to but center point is going to be often 250. So if you minus that x1, you will get what is the midpoint midway. Okay. So for the midway, what you can able to calculate what is your sag. So from there also you can say what is the clearance. What is the clearance? Okay, so that you can try it out in your home. So with this, we'll wind up with the today's session. Okay.